Good evening, everyone, and blessed be. My name is Astro-Ascension Tarot. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to my celestial temple. And tonight we're going to be doing all signs readings for Sun, Moon, Ascendant, and Stelliums for those signs here. So we're going to be doing readings for all the 12 signs. If you want a personal reading after, please donate on Venmo or Cashapp, Astro-Ascension 5. I have included the Venmo QR code on the screen for this time. So tonight, yes, the energy, astrological energies is that Aries is kicking full force. Right now, it is the first day of Taurus season, which is a season of resources, abundance, security. So take time to do things that stabilize you. So that's the season that's going on here. Um, before I get started on the readings, um, I just want to shout out everybody in the chat. Welcome, Southern Soul Tarot. Hello, Megan. How are you? Glad you're here and you're gonna listen along with the readings. So we're gonna go from Aries all the way to Pisces in that order. So we're gonna start off with Aries and then we're gonna end Pisces. So I'm gonna be doing the triple moon spread, which is the core, which is the maiden, mother, and crone. Also, the waxing, full, and waning. So we're gonna be using that spread, and also the astrology dice with these readings here. So we're gonna start off with Aries. Gods of the cosmos, what does Aries need to know for this week? Gods of the cosmos, what does Aries need to know for this week? What does Aries need to know for this week? What does Aries need to know for this week? I'm doing okay, Southern Soul. Alright, so Aries. We have the Wheel of Fortune in the core position, the Chariot in the origin position, and finally in the journey position we have the Four of Cups reversed. So Aries, during this time here we have the Wheel of Fortune here with the core. So I see movement. So I see that the theme here is movement. It's bringing forth cycles, changes coming in here. So Aries, you're going through a lot of change here. With the Wheel of Fortune, you're going through cycles. I see you're expanding here. So this is a growth. So the core here is growth. With the Wheel of Fortune. Now the origin is that we have the Chariot. So right now, you're making big moves here. There's emotional changes coming up here, emotional movement. So also, this is a time that you're going to be. So this is a lot of forward movement here. So that's why we have what's culminating right now is this change, cycles. Time is on your side here. So right now so the origin is that you're on the move, Aries, at this time here. So now finally In the journey position, we have the Four of Cups reversed here. So Aries, I see you opening yourself up to more opportunities, um, more things coming in here. So the journey forward is to be more open. Is to be more open to more. Is to be open to more experiences, as well as this change coming in here. The cycles. So it's more like trusting. It's more like trusting the process, Aries. So now I'm going to do the astrology dice here. All right, so we have North Node in Capricorn in the first house here. So what North Node in Capricorn in the first house here is that Aries, it's time to fortify your structures. Bring more structure into your life here, although you're making some moves here. So it's time to bring in structure, to bring in control into your life here. So that's the forward movement. That's the path forward here. So that goes with the journey. What Hecate is showing the way forward is adding structure into this time here with the North Node in Capricorn in the first house here. So hope this resonates for you, Aries, and on to Taurus. Gods of the cosmos, what does Taurus need to know for this week? What does Taurus need to know for this week? What does Taurus need to know for this week? What does Taurus need to know for this week? What does Taurus need to know for this week? What does Taurus need to know for this week? What does Taurus need to know for this week? What does Taurus need to know for this week? What does Taurus need to know for this week? What does Taurus need to know for this week? All right, Taurus. In the core position, we have the Three of Cups. In the origin position, we have the Tower reversed. And finally, in the journey position, we have the Star. So Taurus, we have the Three of Cups here. So I see the core is all about celebrating life. It's also about community. Being with people, being in connections with others and with friendships. So I do see that. Also, we have the Argo here. So I do see that this is going to be a community journey for you, Taurus. This is all about friendships. Maybe going on going on journeys with friends, cruise, because I see a ship here. So I do see that this is all about community. It's also about trusting. Three of Cups is Neptune and Cancer. So this is using your intuition, like being secure in your own intuition, um, being secure in, like, I see a lot of this has faith here. So the origin here is that we have the Tower reverse here. So Taurus, I've seen you in the past. Some of you Taurus with the Tower reverse, this is all about rebuilding. So the origin is rebuilding from previous structures that have been torn down. So I do see that recovering from abrupt change with the Tower reverse here. So I see like structures that didn't work out in the past. It's time you're rebuilding with the Tower reverse. So I do see in the past you've been doing a lot of rebuilding and reorganizing with the Tower reverse. Now finally, journey position, we have the Star. So Taurus, this is good energy coming in with all the community, with all the celebration, with the Three of Cups. What's culminating right now, we have the Star. This is hope. This is potential coming in for you. So I see we have hope. We have clarity coming in for you. We have clarity coming in for you, Taurus here. So you'll be able to see far into the future, see far into your purpose here, with the Star. So that's what I'm seeing here, Taurus. Now I'm going to do the astrology dice. All right, so we have Mercury in Libra in the ninth house here. So this brings you a stable mindset. Journey forward brings you a stable mindset. Brings you so I do see that this is like balanced communication, balanced ideas here. With the Mercury and Libra in the ninth house here. So I do see that this is this brings you a stable mindset. Also, you're gonna be going through a lot of decision making here, with the Mercury and Libra in the ninth house here. So hope this resonates with you. Hope this resonates for you, Taurus. And on to Gemini. Gods of the cosmos, what does Gemini need to know for this week? What does Gemini need to know for this week? What does Gemini need to know for this week? What does Gemini need to know for this week? What does Gemini need to know for this week? What does Gemini need to know for this week? What does Gemini need to know for this week? What does Gemini need to know for this week? What does Gemini need to know for this week? What does Gemini need to know for this week? What does Gemini need to know for this week? What does Gemini need to know for this week? What does Gemini need to know for this week? What does Gemini need to know for this week? What does Gemini need to know for this week? All right, Gemini. your message here. In the core position, we have the Princess of Pentacles reversed. In the origin position, we have the Prince of Swords. And finally, in the journey position, we have the Eight of Swords here. Okay, so Gemini, during this week, all right, so what's culminating here? What's culminating here? The core here is that we have the Princess of Pentacles reversed. So what's culminating is that we have a lack of resources for you. I feel like there's a lack of stability, a lack of opportunities coming in for you here, with the Princess of Pentacles reversed here. So the origin here is that we have the Prince of Swords here. So I do see, Gemini, you've been in your head. You've been doing a lot of thinking. You're bringing out your ideas here, with the Prince of Swords here. So this is all about I'm just seeing a lot of thinking here. The process of thinking, the process of getting your ideas out there into the universe, into the cosmos, into the world in general, with the Prince of Swords. So now, what's culminating is that nothing from the origin, nothing is regenerating from these ideas that you have here, Gemini, that of these thoughts that you have, with the Prince of Swords here. So I see a lot of in your head, just talking. So Prince of Swords is just like saying, hey, I have this idea, but I'm not really gonna push it forward here. So this is like air of air with the Prince of Swords here. So now finally, in the journey position, we have the Eight of Swords. So yes, it does indicate, going forward from this is that it leads you to be stuck in your head. It leads you to be caught in the opinions of others, Gemini. So I feel like, Gemini, we're having difficulties with getting your ideas out there, so you can have that stability, so you can have that growth. But you need to just push your ideas out there instead of like just being caught in your own head here, so we have two suits of swords here. So this is like communication. I see a lot of thinking here, but no results to what you're thinking here. So now I'm going to do the astrology dice here. All right, so we have Jupiter in Scorpio in the 4th house here. So I see in your present place, Gemini, so in the home, in the hearth, with Jupiter in Scorpio, I see a lot of intensity going on, a lot of prodding for truth here, within your family, within the hearth, within the home here. with Jupiter in Scorpio in the 4th house here. So hope this resonates for you, Gemini. And we're on to Cancer. Cancer, gods of the cosmos, what does Cancer need to know for this week? Gods of the cosmos, what does Cancer need to know for this week? What does Cancer need to know for this week? What does Cancer need to know for this week? What does Cancer need to know for this week? What does Cancer need to know for this week? What does Cancer need to know for this week? What does Cancer need to know for this week? What does Cancer need to know for this week? What does Cancer need to know for this week? What does Cancer need to know for this week? What does Cancer need to know for this week? What does Cancer need to know for this week? What does Cancer need to know for this week? What does Cancer need to know for this week? What does Cancer need to know for this week? What does Cancer need to know for this week? What does Cancer need to know for this week? All right, Cancer. We have death in the core position, in the culmination position. 10 of Pentacles reversed in the origin position, and the Wheel of Fortune in the journey position. So Cancer, right now in the culmination is that we have death here. So I see Cancer, you're going through some intensive change right now, with death here. So you're going through transformation. You're going through a new phase in your life here. So this is like Cancer. I feel like you're going through this energy of like starting over from, and so we see the origin here is the 10 of Pentacles reversed here. So I feel like we're trying to recover from family trauma, and also things that are not working out in the home, in the hearth, with the 10 of Pentacles reversed here. So it's like, so this is also in dealing with like, so whatever family trauma is going on here, you're going through this time of intense transformation, intense change. So whatever's not working out in the home, in your family, it's time to transform that and bring it towards the violet flame, towards so Cancer, I feel like you need to call out to Persephone. You need to call out to Hades. Those are the gods. Those are the gods and goddesses of transformation, rebirth, change. So Cancer, I feel like you're trying to recover from family trauma, trauma in the home, trauma in the hearth, with the 10 of Pentacles reverse here. It's also dealing with a lack of resources too. Like, I'm seeing finances regarding financial troubles regarding with the family. There with the Ten of Pentacles reverse here. So now finally, in the journey position, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So yes, when all this transformation happens, when all this change happens, when all this new beginnings, this rebirth happens, when the Phoenix rises, the Wheel of Fortune comes out, and things begin to move again. Things like this is like the reversal of the origin position. So it's when things get so things start working in your favor, and the wheel starts churning. So I see there's going to be a lot of expansion coming in for you, and a lot of abundant energy here. So Jupiter is also about abundant energy, growth, growth in these things that are coming in here. So that's what I'm seeing here. Now I'm going to do the astrology dice. All right, so we have Neptune in Pisces in the 10th house here. So this is in regards to your your social position, your overall like social position, career, with the Neptune and Pisces. I feel like you're just going with the flow. You're just trusting in your own instincts, just trusting in your own intuition here, with the Neptune in Pisces in the 10th house here. So this is in regards to like the death in the Wheel of Fortune. So we're having this intense rebirth coming in, and you're just going with the flow with that. So hope this resonates for you, Cancer. And on to Leo. Gods of the cosmos, what does Leo need to know? I'm not charge you with the question yet. Gods of the cosmos, what does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? Many cards came out. What does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? What does Leo need to know for this week? All right, Leo. we have the Eight of Wands reversed in the culmination position, the Chariot in the origin position, and the Prince of Pentacles reversed in the journey position. So Leo, I feel like with the Eight of Wands reversed here, something's like you're going through a time where you're just moving slowly. I feel like there's a little hesitation of things coming in for you, and for you to travel forward here. Now the origin position is that we have the Chariot. So you do have that. So you do have that drive, Leo. You have drive coming in for you, with the Chariot. So we see this motivation. So the Chariot in the origin position shows that you have motivation, but culminating right now is you're going through this. You're going through a lot of slow movement. So things are not moving aren't moving very fast for you, with the Eight of Wands reversed here. So now, because although you do have this motivation, Leo. Leo is a determined sign. So Leo, you're very determined. You're very determined, and you're motivated here, but it's moving very slowly for you. Now, the journey forward here, we have the Prince of Pentacles reversed here. So, the Prince of Pentacles reversed here. So the journey forward, you're gonna struggle to work with this energy. So I feel like, Leo, you have a lot of work to do, and I feel like you're not gonna work on this right now. So because of the culmination of the slow movement, of like you trying to travel forward here, because Eight of Wands is Mars and Sagittarius here. So this is like trying to push forward in the future, like fast forwarding. But I see a lot of slow movement, slow growth, slow expansion coming in, with that. So I feel like, Leo, you have a lot of work to do. That's the journey forward, and that's the path taken in the future. So that's what I'm seeing here, Leo. Now I'm going to do the astrology dice here. All right, so we have Uranus in Aquarius in the 5th house here. So I feel like, Leo, in all your experiences, and how you experience your experience the recreational parts of your life, your hobbies, your passions. So the 5th house is hobbies, passions, love, what you love to do. So Uranus and Aquarius in the 5th house, it indicates that I feel like it's more like changing what you're doing, moving forward here, with Uranus in Aquarius in the 5th house here. So expand your horizons is what I'm seeing here, Leo. So you can get to working on that there. So I hope this resonates for you, Leo. And now we're on to Virgo. Gods of the cosmos, what does Virgo need to know for this week? What does Virgo need to know for this week? What does Virgo need to know for this week? What does Virgo need to know for this week? What does Virgo need to know for this week? What does Virgo need to know for this week? What does Virgo need to know for this week? What does Virgo need to know for this week? What does Virgo need to know for this week? What does Virgo need to know for this week? What does Virgo need to know for this week? What does Virgo need to know for this week? What does Virgo need to know for this week? All right, Virgo. In the culmination position, we have the Seven of Wands. In the origin position, we have the King of Cups. And finally, in the journey position, we have the Prince of Wands reversed. Okay, so Virgo, what's culminating for you right now is that you feel like you need to take a stand in what you do. You feel like you need to be in defense. I feel like it's like you're trying to work forward to your goal here. With the Seven of Wands here. Now the origin here is that we have the King of Cups here. So I see some emotional maturity coming in for you here. So emotional security here. I feel like this. So we have the King of Cups here. So this is all about like taking control of your feelings, taking control of your emotions here. So you're approaching life level-headed here, and this is what brings you tools to the Seven of Wands, where you're defending what you believe, standing up for what you believe in here, with the Seven of Wands here. So I feel like Virgo, you're going to be standing up for yourself here. So I feel like this is focusing on you, on what your heart, where your heart is, because you have those tools you have that security, so you're feeling secure right now. So now in the future, finally in the journey, we have the Prince of Wands reverse here. So I feel like a lot of slow growth, a lot of like slow expansion coming in for you, with the Prince of Wands reverse here. So I feel like Virgo, you're going to be doing a lot of being hesitant and trying to move forward here, with the Prince of Wands reverse here. So I do see, although you are approaching life with determination and resiliency, I feel like you're still a bit hesitant, Virgo, in trying to move forward here. So now I'm going to do the astrology dice here. All right, so we have the South Node and Capricorn in the 6th house here. So I feel like Virgo, what you're holding on to is you're holding on to your current structure of your everyday life, like all these rules that you're putting in for yourself, the current structure in work here, feels like you're holding on to that current structure that you're in right now with the South Node and Capricorn in the 6th house here. So hope this resonates for you, Virgo. And I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break. And when I'm back, we will do Libra. am back. Before I go on to Libra, so if you want a personal reading from me on this stream, please donate on Venmo or Cashapp Astro-Ascension 5. I've included the Venmo QR code on the screen. So I will be doing those donations after Pisces. So we are on to Libra now. So, gods of the cosmos, what does Libra need to know for this week? What does Libra need to know for this week? What does Libra need to know for this week? What does Libra need to know for this week? What does Libra need to know for this week? What does Libra need to know for this week? What does Libra need to know for this week? What does Libra need to know for this week? What does Libra need to know for this week? What does Libra need to know for this week? What does Libra need to know for this week? What does Libra need to know for this week? What does Libra need to know for this week? What does Libra need to know for this week? What does Libra need to know for this week? What does Libra need to know for this week? All right. So, Libra, in the core position, in the culmination position, we have the Nine of Wands. In the origin position, we have the Ten of Pentacles. And finally, in the journey position, we have the King of Swords reversed. So what's culminating right now is that I see a lot of resiliency from you, Libra, even though your energy is even though the energy is very heavy for you, it's intense. You're culminating a lot of resiliency, gumption, moving forward into, so as you're doing your building. So you're going forward here with the Nine of Wands. Now the origin position. Now the origin is that we have the Ten of Pentacles. So where you're coming from is that you're going through a new cycle of life. You're going through a new cycle of resources. Getting a new place, getting a new footing in life here. So that's where this resiliency is coming from. That's where this heavy energy is. So coming towards a climactic point of your life here. So that's the origin. So this is the energy that's originating from this. So you're resilient in that effort here. So now finally, in the journey position, we have the King of Swords reverse here. So I feel like Libra, don't be caught on to. I feel like you're going to be caught on to other people's opinions, not going on your truth. I feel like you need to stay on your truth here. Stay on being more of the diplomat. So weigh in on your own options. Stay on your truth. don't deviate from it. Don't be caught on to other people's opinions here. So other than you're going to be going through some heavy shit. You're going to be going through a new phase in life here. Don't abandon the truth or bring yourself out of balance here. So now I'm going to do the astrology dice here. All right, so we have the South Node in Capricorn in the fourth house here. So you have a lot of stability in your current home. So this is the Ten of Pentacles here, the origin. So in the past, so I see past here is that you have a lot of structure in your life, in your home, in the hearth here, with the South Node in Capricorn in the fourth house here. So holding on to that control there. So hope this resonates for you, Libra. And on to Scorpio. Gods of the Cosmos, what does Scorpio need to know for this week? Gods of the Cosmos, what does Scorpio need to know for this week? What does Scorpio need to know for this week? What does Scorpio need to know for this week? What does Scorpio need to know for this week? What does Scorpio need to know for this week? What does Scorpio need to know for this week? What does Scorpio need to know for this week? All right, Scorpio. We have the Emperor in the culmination position, the Moon in the origin position, and finally the Sun reversed in the journey position. All right, so Scorpio, what's culminating right now is that we have the Emperor. So this is about taking control of your life, having structure over your life here, with the Emperor. So I do see that you're taking control, having structure, having structure over your life here, with the Emperor. Now the origin is that we have the Moon here. So I feel like Scorpio, you've been doing a lot of shadow work. We have the full moon. You see the full moon here. Scorpio. So you've been in your own psyche here, with the moon here. So I see you, Scorpio. You've been going with the flow, throughout your life here, and just having faith in your life here. So that's how you have this control over your life here, and that's why you have that structure here, with the Emperor. So I see you having a lot of and I see you starting a lot of things here, Scorpio. So now finally in the journey position we have the Sun reversed here. So I feel like Scorpio, you're gonna approach it. You're gonna approach this life with pessimism. Maybe because you're focusing on the control that you have, the structure. Even though that you're going with the flow, you've been going through some. Been going through some shadow work, in this time here. But with the sun reversed here, I feel like you're gonna lack happiness, a little lack of forward movement, forward focus into your life here. Just don't lose the vision, Scorpio. You have things together. You're stepping into your power. Hold on to a bit of optimism here. Hold on to focus on the focus forward here. So don't dim the light here. Is what I'm seeing here. So now I'm going to do the astrology dice here. All right, Scorpio, we have Saturn in Virgo in the 5th house here. So I feel like this is about like what you can. I feel like you're a little too focused on like what you can do better in the things that you love. So it's important to, so this where I'm seeing like the sun reversed here is like you're holding on to too much structure. Remember to have fun, even though that there is that structure in play, or you feel like you need to do things right, even though like you want to. I feel like this is like making your hobbies as work here, with the Jupiter with Saturn in Virgo in the 5th house here. So I hope this resonates for you, Scorpio. And on to Sagittarius. Gods of the cosmos, what does Sagittarius need to know for this week? What does Sagittarius need to know for this week? What does Sagittarius need to know for this week? What does Sagittarius need to know for this week? What does Sagittarius need to know for this week? What does Sagittarius need to know for this week? What does Sagittarius need to know for this week? What does Sagittarius need to know for this week? What does Sagittarius need to know for this week? What does Sagittarius need to know for this week? What does Sagittarius need to know for this week? What does Sagittarius need to know for this week? What does Sagittarius need to know for this week? What does Sagittarius need to know for this week? What does Sagittarius need to know for this week? What does Sagittarius need to know for this week? All right, Sagittarius. We have the Two of Cups in the culmination position, the Moon in the origin position, and King of Swords reversed in the journey position. So right off the bat, we're dealing with water energy here. So this is in regards to emotions. A little lack of air in the. So we have the culmination of the Two of Cups. So this is about you going through commitments, committing to what your heart wants and to what your heart wants in life here. So and the people that you love here, with the Two of Cups. Now the origin position is that we have the moon here. So this is all about like you going with the flow in life here. It's also about like doing shadow work, connecting with your soul, connecting with the psyche here, with the moon here. So I do see that this is about connecting to your intuition. So this is in regards. So I'm seeing like life commitments here, with the Two of Cups. So committing to one thing that you love, from doing the shadow work, from following your intuition, with the moon here. So now finally in the journey position, we have the King of Swords reverse here. So Sagittarius, I feel like you need to think these commitments forward here, because they may, and I feel like you need to stick to your own truth here. So I feel like you need to weigh the pros and cons of what you're committing to, even though you're thinking about commitments right now, committing to what you want to do in life in the future. So I'm going to do the astrology dice here. Stick to your truth, Sagittarius. Alright, so we have Mercury and Aquarius in the 8th house here. So transformationally, I feel like you're gonna be going through a change of mindset here. So it feels so your mind's gonna be dynamic. Your thoughts are gonna be dynamic. They're gonna change here. So new ideas coming in for you in your transformation, with the Mercury and Aquarius in the 8th house here. So hope this resonates for you, Sagittarius. And on to Capricorn. Gods of the Cosmos, what does Capricorn need to know for this week? What does Capricorn need to know for this week? What does Capricorn need to know for this week? What does Capricorn need to know for this week? What does Capricorn need to know for this week? What does Capricorn need to know for this week? What does Capricorn need to know for this week? What does Capricorn need to know for this week? What does Capricorn need to know for this week? What does Capricorn need to know for this week? What does Capricorn need to know for this week? What does Capricorn need to know for this week? All right, Capricorn. We have King of Cups in the culmination position, 8 of Cups in the origin position, and finally in the journey position we have the 10 of Swords reversed. All right, so Capricorn, we have the King of Cups here. So this is so what's coming in right now is that you have emotional maturity coming in. You have this sense of security, trying like in like emotional stability coming in, with the King of Cups here. So I do see that you feel that sense of security, and and that stability in your emotions. So mental health wise, you're stabilizing here, with the King of Cups. Now the origin position, we have the Eight of Cups here. So this is all about moving on from previous traumas, from previous experiences here. So what's bringing this security and stability, this emotional maturity here, control here, is moving forward, going through acceptance. So this is so Eight of Cups is acceptance. It's moving forward. So that is like connected to the King of Cups, having that maturity, having that stability in the emotions, with the King of Cups. So it's all about moving forward, accepting what happened and moving forward onto your life here. So now finally in the journey position, we have the Ten of Swords reversed here. So I see that this is like, that you're putting into something, and you don't feel pain towards it. So although it's like a ending, it feels like a new beginning, and it's less